if you bought countless meal plans, training plans, watched all these what I eat in a day videos, maybe you also have so many cookbooks, but still somehow don't eat healthier and lose weight. And maybe you also did all the journaling, the gratitude journal, I love myself journal and affirmations, then went on diets, low fat, low carb, high protein, maybe even signed up for Weight Watchers, and still doesn't really change anything, then you are not alone. So many women, they believe that something must be wrong with them because all their attempts keep failing, and they start assuming that they are a failure and that they will never reach their goal. So at some point they're almost ready to give up. And if you are one of them, if you also tried some of these strategies and found that they don't work, then let me tell you something. I believe that nothing is wrong with you, that rather you're just using the wrong tools right now. And this is actually very good news, because you can imagine it like this. Let's say your neighbor went on holidays and gave you the key to her house to take care of her plants and pets, let's say. But then the next morning you go to her house, you try to unlock the door, somehow it doesn't really work. So you might be wondering, what's happening, what's wrong? You try again, maybe the thought pops up in your head like, what the heck, am I stupid? Can't be this hard to open the freaking door. And maybe you think about calling her, but you're afraid to embarrass yourself. So some time passes, you feel bad until at some point you decide to call her because you don't want her plants and pets to die. So as you tell her about the problem, she realizes that she gave you the wrong key. It's not the one for the door, it's the one for the garage that you hold in your hand. So that means nothing is wrong with you, just have the wrong key, the wrong tool. Doesn't serve your goal to open the door. And it's maybe the same with you right now, just have the wrong tools that you're using. And most of the strategies that I mentioned at the beginning, they don't make you reach your goals because they're trying to change the conscious mind. They involve the willpower, intention, the knowing, the educated mind. However, the conscious mind, it's only about 5% that determines your results. Most of them, over 90%, they are actually controlled by your subconscious mind, especially your habits. So the subconscious, it's really all about feeling rather than thinking and language. So this is the reason also why, for example, affirmations might not work for you, because they target the thinking mind. However, in order to create changes that actually last, then you need to combine thinking and feeling. You have to work with your mind and with your body. Maybe you would miss a few puzzle pieces. And if you take a closer look into your brain and the rest of your body, then you can see the nervous system, which is super cool. It connects all of your organs in the body, and there's a very big branch. This nerve, it's called the vagus nerve, and it connects your brain with your heart, with your digestive system, with your lungs. And yeah, maybe you already heard about it. And yeah, I find this very exciting, but I try not to dive too much into detail. I'm a little nerd sometimes. But let me tell you this. A big part of your nervous system, it's actually working on the subconscious level. And this is good because imagine, like every time you have to focus on, okay, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, heart, beat. Digestion, okay, do this, do that. I mean, you would go crazy. It's impossible, and you would also never sleep because if you sleep, and you would have to consciously control the breathing and the stuff, and it stops when you sleep. Yeah, probably sleep forever, never wake up. So it's good that these things are happening on the subconscious level, that you don't have to pay attention to them as they're happening. But what you also have to know about the nervous system, and this is really important for you now, is that it constantly scans your environment for cues that indicate danger or potential threats to your survival. It's the an older part of the brain that's associated with that. And neuroception, this kind of scanning or filtering of your environment and then interpreting and evaluating if you're safe or not. And this kind of scanner or filter, it's based on your past experiences. So it's not objective, it's subjective. And an example is that, say you're walking with your friend in the forest and you hear something behind you. And it might remind you of a dog. And then you might happen that you're getting really stressed, that your heart starts beating, maybe you're sweating and you feel like you want to run all of a sudden. Like, boom, your nervous system is going into survival mode just like this. Because maybe in the past you were bitten by a dog. You're afraid maybe of dogs. And the sound, it kind of activates this memory that you still hold. And then activates survival mode or the stress response. While, for example, your friend had a very cute and cuddlish dog while he grew up. And now hearing this reminds him of all these beautiful moments, so he is getting really excited now to see his favorite animal. So you see, it's the same situation that can evoke different responses in our system, depending on our past experiences and our perception in a way. So in this example, your friend is most likely in a very calm and relaxed state, very regulated, and you're maybe flight or fight, survival mode. And we can also call this faulty neuroception, when then your response or your reaction, it doesn't match the actual situation, or it's not an appropriate response, like a mismatch in a way. And actually there's so much more to it than just the example I mentioned. There's so many subtle cues that are kind of reaching us, and it's happening below our awareness, and determine how safe or unsafe we feel in our environment. And even though, because it's on a subconscious level, you cannot gain the full control over your neuroception, you can still, for example, design your home in a way that makes you feel more safe, and then it's less likely to trigger the stress response or survival mode, which then in turn would trigger emotional eating, let's say. So you can make yourself feel more safe in your external environment, but also create this safe space within yourself, like shelter or refuge. You are in a home that you can come back to the more you practice this and cultivate state of peace, calmness and relaxation. Your nervous system also changes. It can rewire with time. We call this neuroplasticity, that how your nervous system and your brain are wired right now. It's not only the result of your past experiences, but also with your new experiences, they change and adapt again. It means you're not a victim of your past, but by making mindful or conscious future choices, you can also change your nervous system for the better and become a more calm person who feels more safe inside your body. And yeah, and this sense of inner safety is important because I mentioned already that, for example, if you're in survival mode, you tend to feel unsafe in your environment to go together, survival mode and lack of safety. And if you don't feel safe, it might happen that you use food in order to gain a sense of control or comfort again. Or it can also specifically look like obsessively counting then calories, sticking to food rules, dieting, weighing yourself all the time, looking in the mirror and checking your body 24/7, having strict plans for your workout and your diet, like really micromanaging in order to compensate for this lack of safety. That's how it's all interconnected in a way. So yeah, it's important to work on this topic of safety and learn to bring yourself back into your safety or comfort zone after you were stressed by this dog, for example, or whatever situation. It's very important because we cannot live the whole time outside of our comfort zone and the challenge, the unknown. This will be too much stress for our system. At some point we have to come back home to ourselves again. So it's very important to learn this. And this base of safety or your comfort zone, it's also where integration and healing take place. And many of us were never taught how to bring ourselves back into this zone or this state, back to regulation or homeostasis, which means balance in a way, which is very important, like so many other things in life. And that's why I created the School for Mindful Eating and Movement, where we teach our students to feel safe again without depending on food, for example, or validation of other people, but to source it from within, to change your inner world and cultivate more safety and peace within yourself, So your nervous system will rewire and also change with time. You will become a more peaceful and relaxed version of yourself, and with that also create new experiences. And yeah, overall a regulated nervous system, it allows you to thrive rather than merely survive. It also allows you to create a more healthy and peaceful life. And I think that each and every one of you deserves this. So our mission is to equip women with the tools and strategies to do exactly that. And if you want to learn more, I will link you. If you want to learn more, I'll put the link in the description. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. As you maybe saw, I'm so passionate about this topic. I love explaining and illuminating this to you because I think understanding yourself, it's a very important step to cultivating more compassion and then in turn to create changes in your life. So thank you so much for watching, for doing this work. I'm sending you lots of love and sunshine. See you very soon.